Have you ever found yourself cornered by someone's words, feeling the urge to defend yourself? Maybe it's at work, in your family, or even among friends. The instinct is natural. But history, strategy, and the wisdom of Machiavelli tell us something counterintuitive: never defend yourself. Why? Because defense gives your opponent the upper hand. When you defend, you justify their attack, you acknowledge their power over you, and you inadvertently play their game. Defense is reactive. It puts you on their terms, not yours. And once you're on the defensive, it's almost impossible to regain control. Machiavelli, the master of political strategy, observed this in rulers, generals, and kings. The smartest leaders didn't waste energy defending themselves. They flipped the power. Instead of reacting, they acted. They let accusations and attacks reveal their opponent's weaknesses. They asked questions, remained silent, or subtly shifted the conversation. In doing so, the aggressor felt exposed, overextended, and unsure, while the one who refused to defend themselves radiated control and confidence. Think about it. The world respects those who don't chase approval, who don't justify every action, who are calm while others fume. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. The moment you stop defending yourself, you stop fighting on someone else's battlefield. You create your own. So, the next time someone attacks your reputation or questions your motives, resist the urge to argue. Stand firm in silence, act strategically, and watch as power subtly flips in your favor. Remember, the strongest position is not to defend yourself, but to let the world reveal the truth while you stay unshakable. The trap of defending yourself. Most people think defending themselves shows strength or honesty. But the truth is, defending yourself gives power to your attacker. When you justify your actions or respond to criticism, you acknowledge the other person's authority over you. You react on their battlefield, playing their game while losing control of the situation. Defense is inherently reactive. It means you are responding, not leading. Machiavelli observed this in political and social contexts. Rulers who constantly defended themselves appeared weak, hesitant, and unsure. Every defense offers a clue to your opponent, revealing your priorities, fears, and vulnerabilities. Silence or strategic non-reaction, on the other hand, keeps the balance of power in your hands. The world is drawn to calmness under pressure and perceives restraint as confidence. By refusing to defend yourself, you subtly communicate control. You demonstrate that your identity, your choices, and your reputation are not negotiable and cannot be dictated by someone else's opinion. The next time you are attacked or criticized, pause before responding. Ask yourself, am I reacting to them, or am I choosing my own battlefield? This is the first step in flipping power in your favor. Flip the power through strategic silence. Silence is one of the most underestimated tools of power. When someone attacks or challenges you, instinct tells you to respond immediately, but impulsive reactions often weaken your position. Strategic silence, as Machiavelli advised, creates tension and uncertainty in the mind of your opponent. People naturally fill silence with assumptions, often exposing their own motives or weaknesses. By not defending yourself, you force them to overextend, to reveal more than intended, and even contradict themselves. This psychological shift gives you an upper hand. Silence is not surrender, it is a conscious tactic to control perception. Others begin to doubt their own attack, while you remain unshakable, calm, and composed. When used correctly, silence communicates confidence, restraint, and authority. In modern life, whether in the workplace, social circles, or online interactions, remaining silent while others escalate arguments is powerful. It signals that you do not need validation or approval. By resisting the urge to defend, you move from reaction to strategy, from weakness to dominance. Mastering silence is mastering influence. It transforms confrontation into an arena where your opponent inadvertently shows their hand. Acting instead of reacting, Machiavelli emphasized that the strongest leaders do not respond on others' terms, they act on their own. Reacting to attacks is always reactive. It gives the attacker control. Acting strategically, on the other hand, puts you in charge. Instead of defending yourself, identify the opportunities hidden in conflict. Ask subtle questions, redirect the conversation, or focus on actions rather than words. This shifts attention from you to your opponent's vulnerabilities. When you act, you define the narrative. Your opponent becomes defensive, uncertain, and increasingly aware of their missteps. In life, this applies to office politics, relationships, or public opinion. The person who moves with purpose, who does not get entangled in pointless arguments, becomes the one others unconsciously follow. Actions demonstrate character far more effectively than words. By taking control, you maintain clarity, composure, and authority. You become the architect of the situation instead of a responder. Ultimately, action replaces reaction, and perception is shaped by deeds, not defensive explanations. This is the essence of flipping power. Choose your battlefield, control the tempo, and let others play catch-up while you dictate the story. Let others reveal themselves. One of Machiavelli's timeless lessons is that the more your opponents talk, the more they reveal their weaknesses. When you refuse to defend yourself, you create a mirror that reflects their aggression, insecurities, and true intentions. Attacks, accusations, or criticisms often stem from projection, envy, or fear. By staying calm and silent, you allow their behavior to speak louder than your words ever could. Others start to expose inconsistencies, irrationality, and emotional vulnerability. This is invaluable because power lies in perception. People who appear unshakable, confident, and composed naturally command respect. When you stop defending yourself, you remove fuel from their attacks, leaving them frustrated and confused. This subtle psychological shift flips the balance. Their aggression weakens them, while you're composed. Restraint strengthens your position. Understanding human nature and letting actions speak louder than words is a strategic advantage. Those who reveal themselves are vulnerable. Those who do not defend are untouchable. By observing without reacting, you gain insight, control, and influence power without confrontation. Control perception. Command respect. Ultimately, never defending yourself is about perception. Humans judge power not by the words you speak, but by the calm, controlled, and confident presence you exude. Machiavelli's advice was clear. The world respects restraint and clarity, not frantic justification. By refusing to justify, explain, or argue, you demonstrate that your value is inherent, unshakable, and independent of others' opinions. This strategy is not arrogance, it is mastery. You control how others perceive you. You stop giving them leverage, and you subtly flip the power dynamic. Respect and authority are earned when you remain calm while others react emotionally. In business, social life, or personal relationships, mastering this principle makes you untouchable. Your silence becomes your shield, your actions become your weapon, and your presence becomes the measure of power. Never defend yourself. Instead, let composure, strategy, and action shape the narrative. This is Machiavelli's timeless trick. Flip power, command respect, and ensure that you are never trapped in someone else's battlefield.